Director, Academics and Planning, Jain Deemed to be University, and our honored guest today. On behalf of CMS Business School faculty, on behalf of CMS Business School fraternity and Jain Raj Roychand Center for Entrepreneurship, we cordially welcome all of you to the launch event of Kalpavriksha, Sree Kutumbh, and student Nirbhar. I now have the privilege of inviting Dr. Raj Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jain Deemed to be University, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Jain Raj Roychand, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Harold, Sree, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Audible now? Thank you. Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Jain Raj Roychand, Registrar Dr. Krishnan, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Harold Patrick, Dr. Sudhamurthy, dear faculty colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I think today is a very, very important day for more than one reasons. Why I say so? Because today perhaps the most important chapter of Jan 2.0 is being written. And I believe that we have found that cultural thread, which can be heard, which can be felt, which can be seen, which connects almost everything, and that makes it one of the most important days. Friends, each and every institution in this world is known for something. And that's what I meant by the common thread, the common strength area one is known for. Let me give you some data, permit me to read. I was collecting some data for top 5-6 universities globally. And I started with number 1 and went down the list. Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, USA, established in 1636, is known for management, law, and economic thought. And some of the prominent alumni were President Roosevelt, Kennedy, Barack Obama, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Ban Ki-moon, to name a few. I don't have to tell who they are. MIT, again Cambridge, USA, established in 1865, known for engineering and science, but of late, economics, management, and linguistics. There's been a shift in last 10 to 15 years. Some of the famous, well-known alumni, Kofi Annan, Benjamin Netanyahu, philosopher and cultural icon Noam Chomsky, and many others. University of Oxford, UK, established in 1096. Now this is, as you many of you know, it is second oldest operative university after Bologna in Italy, which was established in 1088, the oldest known as on today. Now, if you look at Oxford, it's known for politics and religion, science, mathematics, and literature. And there are a few other areas. And if you look at the alumni, a lot of prime ministers like Cameron, Tony Blair, and Margaret Thatcher, they have given total 26 British prime ministers, 20 archbishops of Canterbury, and 12 saints. University of Cambridge, UK, the third oldest operating university, established in 1209. Over 90 Nobel Prize winners, known for science, history, and literature. Alumni include Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, John Milton, Lord Byron, Salman Rushdie, our own Salman Rushdie, physicist Charles Darwin, Bertrand Russell, and J.M. Keynes, the economist. UC Berkeley, University of California, established 1868, known for student activism. Particularly, they became known during the US-Vietnam War, but known for science. It is said that 16 basic chemicals were produced in the laboratories, which are used all over the world in different industries. 72 Nobel Prize winners. And alumni include Intel co-founder Gordon Moore, MySpace co-founder Tom Anderson, computer mouse inventor Douglas Engelbart, and many, many more. And last I'll take is Stanford, established in 1891. Sometimes in 1940s and 50s, one of the engineering professors, whose name was Frederick Terman, 40s, 50s, about 50, 60 years before this, he called upon students and staff to come and become entrepreneurs. And rest is history, the Silicon Valley exploded there. I think this is one example I could find where this university became to be known for entrepreneurship in some sense. And if I name some of the alumni, the high-profile business-minded alumni are from Stanford. And the names include Google co-founder Larry Page and Sergey Brin, co-founders of Yahoo, Hewlett-Packard, Instagram, Netflix, Nike, and many, many more. So this particular university is known for top level of business people in the alumni list. Now, why I mentioned this, you can mention other institutions and universities starting from or maybe Yale or University of Chicago or Princeton, Babson, known for entrepreneurship education. And then towards UK, if you go, Imperial College and other institutions are there, very well known. Three things we learn from this. Number one, for how long they have been in existence. The universities are named are anywhere between 130 years to 1,000 years old. Second, what kind of thought leadership they provide, means what subject area they are known for. And third, what are the alumni amongst Nobel Prize winners, maybe Olympic medal winners, some activists, religious leaders, presidents, prime ministers, and non-businessmen. These three things I learned from these top universities. And I think it was necessary to set the context for what is going to happen today. Coming to our own Jan University, the strengths we have developed over the last 30 years plus, and the numerous discussions I've had with the gentleman who just went out, our own chairman, numerous satsangs I had, numerous discussions I had discussions with many of you because you know the history more than I do. And what I learned after interacting with all these people, including some of the students, that we have been able to, it seems, we've been able to find that common thread which I mentioned. The second thing is that obsession of a chairman, whom I just mentioned, he came in, with the secured future of all the people of Jan group of institutions. And his obsession for serving the society. I remember it was only about 10, 15 days ago, how on a very, very famous TV channel announced that I have to take the responsibility. I announced officially where Education Minister and Deputy CM was present. Few million people almost free of cost. This is my commitment to the nation. Now, having announced on almost a national TV, you can't go back. And I call it as success by compulsion. You create compulsion for yourself and then become successful. That obsession I've seen. And then on more technical side, we decided that Jan 2.0, which we are trying to write the history for, will be based on certain pillars, certain philosophical pillars. And in that, if I mentioned many times, but I think it's worth repeating, global benchmarking and local relevance is the first pillar of philosophy. Second one is technology differentiated contents and teaching learning processes. The co-creation of curriculum with industry, linking research to innovation and entrepreneurship, which of course I'll rate as number one as far as the drift of Gen 2.0 is concerned, and then curated organization culture. These 5 pillars we've been talking about. Now, if I synthesize these thoughts, the history of these top 5-6 universities, I said, which are known for 3 reasons. One, the length of time they've been in existence, the thought leadership they provide in different disciplines, and third, who are the alumni. Including, one of the universities became famous because of just one alumni. Albert Einstein was from where? Zurich. He made this university a top university, Zurich in Switzerland, just because he was the alumni. So one alumni and rest of the job is done. If I synthesize these ideas, including Gen 2.0 in our own history, I believe that the evolving landscape of industry and education and the society, not only post-COVID, but it has been evolving for many, many years, it will require certain tools in education to serve the objectives which are based on the demand on all of us. And among these tools, I must confess today, our first humble initiative, project-centric learning, is shaping up very well. I've been interacting with some of you, some of the students in different campuses, and I'm really, really enthused with what we've been able to do in a very, very short span of last 3 to 4 weeks. The Chendra's Center of Excellence has been existing for many, many years. That provides us some kind of integrating institutionalized mechanism, which we will use, and that through Kalpavriksha, which I'm sure my colleagues today will explain more and more, and Sree Kutumbh, an aggregator, which has been defined. And in the last 6 to 7 months, a lot of work has gone on in terms of what kind of solopreneurship we want to develop. That will unfold in today's program. And before I conclude, I'm extremely happy to announce today that with the approval of Honorable Chancellor and the consent of Dr. Dinesh and Dr. Harold Patrick, Dr. Monu John will be heading the Center for General Rights and Center for Entrepreneurship, and Dr. Sudarshan Krishna will be heading the Sree Kutumbh aggregator. The formal communication will follow from Registrar tomorrow. And with this, I thank each one of you. I congratulate each one of you because, as I said in the beginning, today's announcement is one of the most important chapters in the story of Gen 2.0. So congratulations. Thank you so much for organizing this. And I hand over the proceedings to Madam to carry on to the next speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Kalpavriksha is institutionalized within Jain Group of Institutions and Jain University as a project enterprise entrepreneurship accelerator based on our Chairman Sir's lifelong vision and shared values. Kalpavriksha enables people with ideas and startups in their early stage to be able to access and take advantage of a new initiative under CRC. This new flow of capital or the other types of support and resources they need to succeed. While there are thousands of early stage innovators seeking to launch companies that can drive social change worldwide, very few are able to build the teams, find the customer base, or raise the investment necessary to scale. This is where Kalpavriksha comes in. I now request Professor Monu John, sir, Professor, CMS Business School and Head of CRC, to present Kalpavriksha.
Thank you, Lubna, for inviting me. My privilege and a deep sense of gratitude to our Honorable Chairman and Chancellor, to our respected Vice Chancellor, to the principal officers at Jain deemed to be University, my director, Dr. Dinesh Neelkant, and my dean, Dr. Harold Andrew Patrick. I don't have words to express how immense this responsibility is, and the sense of gratitude that you have so much of faith in me to carry Dr. Chenraj Roychand's legacy and history of entrepreneurship, hard entrepreneurship practices. I still remember the first time I had an opportunity to interact with Chenraj sir at a very personal level when he invited me to discuss with him the practice of entrepreneurship. In those days, we were under a lockdown, and it was definitely a very humbling experience to be sitting with a person who has envisioned a quality of life for all the stakeholders of the JGI group 25 years ago. And he was able to envision this quality of life 25 years ago when Jain University was not in existence. He was struggling. He was coming through a lot of experiences that made him realize that I need to make sure that we have a drive, a sense of commitment to create wealth as well as employment for the entire community, to be able to influence the lives of ordinary citizens. He explained to me about the number of characters that passed by along this journey. One was the story of this young girl who was trying to meet the needs of her family by selling milk, and how she was turned away by some of the officers at the university, and she was not able to supply milk. And then it took her a lot of perseverance to get in touch with Chenraj sir. And today, she leads a very comfortable life as an entrepreneur. And this is the story across the board. I have tried to instill some of the principles, some of the valuable insights that Chenraj sir was able to share with us through the many meetings. And that is how this whole idea and visualization of Kalpavriksha came into being. Kalpavriksha for me is not just any other tree. It's the banyan tree. And with my experiences as an Arya Samaj, I am an Arya Samaji. And I've tried to go back to my roots. And in that sense, I was able to discover that the banyan tree is a life giver more than a life saver. There is a lot of significance to the value that Kalpavriksha carries. And I saw Chenraj sir's vision in that banyan tree. And that is how we suggested that we need to have Kalpavriksha. Now, Kalpavriksha, from a technical perspective, is envisioned as an accelerator. It is a system that will handhold, encourage, and accelerate the development of ideas, make them into a reality. And therefore, I have the privilege and the humble honor to be able to present to you Kalpavriksha. Okay. Standing solidly behind me is Chenraj sir's vision. So here I give you Kalpavriksha, the project enterprise accelerator ecosystem. So the vision for Chandra Sir is encapsulated in three terms: Atmanirbharta, self-reliance; Saksham, which is self-sufficiency; and Savriti, which is essentially economic independence. And believe me, I had no idea that these Sanskrit words really meant what is being signified. Again, the entire credit for my learning and my growth and my understanding goes to Chandra Sir for this. So Atmanirbharta, Saksham, and Savriti is what defines the whole action of Kalpavriksha. As I said, we have a unique opportunity as an educational institution of repute. We have to fulfill the aspirations of a new generation that we call the millennials. And the millennials are looking at opportunities where they can excel in the areas of creativity and innovation. So from that perspective, we need to value the creative curve that they display every day, every moment. In that sense, thank you so much, Ishwaran sir. So in that sense, we need to also understand that as educators inside the classroom, we can all be entrepreneurial in what we do, in how we take a course and provide the same valuable experience to our students and to the larger community as a whole. So from that perspective, COVID-19 and the pandemic has actually thrown up the new normal. What do we call the new normal? It's not about Zoom. Zoom is not the new normal. We need to get out of that as quickly as possible because we understand that Zoom is today taken for an undue advantage by a large population. So the millennials and their mindset is about learnability, educational delivery, modular, on the go, distributed, and experiential. That experience is how we at CMS Business School and at the university provide through our projects, our very important projects, through the PCL, the project-centric learning experience, as well as the TAP-R model. All the three together complement each other and provide the experience that the millennials look out for. So in that sense, we are also collaborating with industry and academia to co-create, co-own, and ensure that we tackle self-redundancy as quickly as possible. So I come to the chairman's vision. The chairman's vision is enhancing the quality of life for all stakeholders, faculty, students, and the university. And the pathways, how do we go about realizing that vision, is in the education continuity plan, as well as keeping the sanctity of the business principle through co-creation. So this one idea has 6 differentiators. It's a blockbuster idea to ensure self-reliance. It's an innovative game changer. It's a proprietary intellectual property of the JGI group as well as Jain University. It's a robust education continuity plan, and of course, complemented by Sree Kutumbh, the business aggregator and accelerator framework. From that perspective, with the help of the principal officers at the university, we drew up this particular framework. If you look at the framework, it is titled as the Experience School for Transformative Education. That's what Gen 2.0 means. From that perspective, CRCE now becomes the accelerator for all the projects, all the experiential learning processes and co-creation processes that Jain University will undertake. In that sense, we are creating enterprises with sanctified values. Let me quickly take you to what Kalpavriksha is all about. So Kalpavriksha will have three, Chenraj Roychand Center for Entrepreneurship will encapsulate three very important elements. The first one is the focus on entrepreneurship-related academics. It could be through training programs. It could be through exclusive programs, experiential programs on entrepreneurship. We will also have a Kalpavriksha hatchery. Now, this functions as an incubation center where ideas are developed, ideas are conceptualized, and ideas are encouraged to be converted into a reality. The Kalpavriksha accelerator platform is what will accelerate the project enterprise accelerator ecosystem. So in that sense, CRCE Kalpavriksha project enterprise accelerator ecosystem trajectory will begin something like this. From ideation, which would encompass the Kalpavriksha Sree Kutumbh business model, which is the foundations of Kalpavriksha as well as Sree Kutumbh. We will go on to find the product solution mix, because I believe that every entrepreneurial activity begins with a question: what need do we fulfill? Only if we fulfill a need can we find a solution, a market, and people and consumers who would want our products and services. So we will find the product solution fit at the bootstrap stage, from idea to early traction, and then we accelerate it with a 10 times launch, from minimum viable product to reference customers, customers who are referred to our products and services through our early traction. And finally, we go on for a 10 times growth, find engines of growth in the process, and finally scale it up 10 times to optimize these engines of growth. Now, if we understand this trajectory, Kalpavriksha, the accelerator, will look something like this. So the accelerator ecosystem funnel, if you look at it, will begin at the ideation stage. It will have a business model design. We anticipate 500 plus startups entering this funnel, okay, at the ideation stage. The next stage is the incubation stage. At the incubation stage, we will bootstrap at least 60 of those 500 ideas or 500 startups. And we will pick up these 60 startups and consider acceleration so that they quickly grow and establish themselves in whichever market they enter by looking at a selection of 50 startups. And we mean a 10 times scalable launch of that. And finally, we are looking at least 25 startups, and then finally come down for the intensity part of it. If you look at the funnel starts at the bigger side and narrows down towards the end, which means that the final set of startups, which we envisage as 10 startups, would be the startups that we will look at for growth and scalability in the future. So this is Kalpavriksha, the accelerator ecosystem funnel that we have designed today with the blessings of the principal officers of the university and the founding father of JGI and Jain University, Chenraj Roychan sir's blessing, we begin operationalizing Kalpavriksha, the accelerator ecosystem. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to share with you to give you clarity. Again, I express my gratitude and I humbly accept the responsibility given to me by everyone here. And I hope to do my very best and take the idea and the vision of Chairman Sir forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Ishwaran Iyer, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor. Sree Kutumbh, among other initiatives, aggregates and unleashes the supply chain of like-minded business owners and professionals, many of whom are illustrious alumni mentored to success by the phenomenal acumen of our beloved Chairman, sir. I now have the pleasure to inviting Professor Sudarshan Sheshirna, sir, to present Sree Kutumbh.
Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So, beloved Chancellor and Chairman, Dr. Roychan, Krishnan sir, Sridharmurthy sir, Dinesh sir, Dr. Harold, Pro Vice Chancellor, Ishwaran sir, and most honorable Vice Chancellor. Okay, so let me quickly cut to the chase because time is short. So greetings and welcome to the launch of Sree Kutumbh. A quick side view and a distraction before we get into the content for Sree Kutumbh. What are some of the lessons from the international experience that we can look at from a stylized way? Recent discussions on the world's best MBA programs in entrepreneurship tend to be dominated by the narratives and experiences. Again, this is stylized, centered around the programs offered by the Olin School of Business, Washington University, USA, and the Jones School of Business at Rice University, USA, among others. This is as per some of the latest rankings. It can be useful to understand the pathways of possibilities and opportunities that faculty at Wash University, Olin, and Rice Jones have crafted to uphold the teaching and practice of entrepreneurship and learning. There are some elements to be noted. First, the effort to create an entrepreneurship climate at both universities is deeply rooted in the American higher education ethos of investing in the intellectual prowess of faculty as catalysts of entrepreneurship and innovation through teaching, learning, and scholarship. Visionaries, however, in this journey are few. Interestingly, and across these programs, new venture creation is seen as a byproduct of this progression and not its core. Second, while the repute of these global MBA programs is based on the impact of new ventures incubated and created by alumni, this too is restricted to a small local community of business owners and beneficiaries, and usually does not scale up beyond that threshold. While such elements reveal the intent and involvement of these business schools in a different cultural context, our effort at iterating entrepreneurship is unique, differentiated, and innovative in many ways unprecedented. Let's have a quick look at the progression that we have in mind. Kalpavriksha is a one-of-its-kind game changer in education and exemplifies and institutionalizes the vision of our beloved chairman of creating new businesses where students are business owners and faculty mentors are beneficiaries. Kalpavriksha is designed to be a far more progressive as an entrepreneurial ecosystem with visible actions in engagement, business skill enhancement, impact through the creation of new ventures, professional mentorship, as well as learning attainments, not just for our community of students, but also extending out into the entire education value chain, even globally. Allow me now, friends, to evangelize for a few minutes on the strengths and uniqueness of Sree Kutumbh, the family of prosperity, loosely translated as the family of prosperity. Sree Kutumbh is the brand name given for the product and business development aggregator, which energizes, powers, and drives Kalpavriksha. Sree Kutumbh, among other initiatives, aggregates and unleashes the supply chain, the power of the supply chains developed by like-minded business owners and professionals, many of whom are illustrious alumni, mentored to success by the phenomenal acumen of our beloved chairman. Their selflessness, stellar efforts, and contributions have helped us to fast-track their onboarding as product manufacturers and suppliers, as well as marketing and distribution partners to start, build, grow, and sustain the venture. The trademark products distributed under Sree Kutumbh will be presented shortly. Coming to the student value. Under Sree Kutumbh, students at the university have an opportunity to turn entrepreneurial where they engage and compete and complete products under the guidance of faculty mentors and professionals across entrepreneurship, business, and skill development. The prospects for students under Sree Kutumbh are remunerative as they have the possibility of earning while learning from the distributed proceeds. Based on personal effort and motivation, a student can continue to engage with the model to potentially earn at least 3x in revenues over and beyond recovery of fees and expenses incurred in the higher education program. The Sree Kutumbh model extends the CSR objectives and initiatives of student empowerment at the university to the teaching community as well. My faculty peers, who are beneficiaries and are incentivized from distributed proceeds to ensure the long-term financial stability, self-reliance, and self-sufficiency. Now let's have a sneak view of the products of Sree Kutumbh, which are very quickly being developed for release. First, the product mix that's planned. The product mix planned by our partners under Sree Kutumbh includes over 3,000 SKUs across categories. The product lines commissioned first under the model include Ayurveda and wellness, as well as a range of nutritious, gluten-free superfoods offered both as traditional and continental recipes under breakfast, food, and snack options. The product boxes, and this is a design and an image of this product box for Ayurveda and wellness, are tested prior to launch. They have been tested prior to launch, pilot tested to evaluate feasibility, duration, cost, and adverse events, if any, and beta tested for user acceptability, where a nearly finished product was given to a group of target users to evaluate product performance in the real world. All products are made from world-class ingredients and formulations Ayurveda and wellness SKUs are branded and trademarked by Prana and licensed and duly certified by national food and industrial quality regulators. Groceries and staples will be added in these product lines in the coming days. And many more. I'm delighted to share with you that the response of our products among our students has been overwhelming and very encouraging. The product boxes are designed to improve the quality of life of a typical family household. These are some of the products that you can see in the ready-to-eat food products category and are crafted to fulfill their monthly needs at an affordable targeted cost, often below MRP, and will very soon be available to students for general release and business development. Apart from these, there are also a range of soups, vegan soups under drumstick, carrot, coriander, and lemon, as well as malt-based drinks and chocolate. So it's a bonanza for every one of us. I thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, sir. JGI is coming up with an innovative e-commerce idea for all our alumni and existing students. That is Student Nirbhar. It is a unique platform having a social agenda to serve society. It is an extraordinary initiative taken by JGI to empower its students by providing them with an e-commerce platform to market, sell their products and services to a large customer base across the country. This aims to encourage budding entrepreneurs and local business people to serve customers through quality products and services. This initiative completely eliminates intermediaries' involvement and their share of profit, due which products are relatively cheaper. It is a platform of the students, by the students, and for the adherent. This platform is a perfect amalgam of the best products and services with incredible variety and competitive prices under one roof. It aims to promote and sell only quality products and services developed and conceived by the students and the alumni of JGI. I now take a privilege to invite Dr. Dinesh Nilkan, Director, Sir, CMS Business School, Jain Hindu University, to present Student Nirbhar.
Okay. This is risky. Okay, anyway, I'll manage. So, good evening, one and all. Before we launch, Lubna has already launched. She has told everything. She has not left anything for me. Okay, anyway, so thank you very much. And respected Chairman, Vice Chancellor, Krishnan Sir, Sridhar Murthy Sir, Ishwaran Sir, Harold Sir, all the area chairs, Sudarshan and Monu. So I welcome you all for the launch of CRC as well as Kalpavriksha and then Sree Kutumbh, and then Student Nirbhar is a part of Kalpavriksha. And today, officially, we will launch this, and I'll request Chandra Sir to just click the button so that we can, start today. So thank you very much, sir. Now, I'll explain to you how we have to go ahead with this. Okay, now I'm not going to take much of your time. In the 10 minutes, I'll finish this. But then let me tell you that how the concept is and how it is going to work. So that will be very clear to all of us. The thought process is that if you look into today's education system, which is going under a huge transition. And in this transition, the most important thing was that what are we doing? And that was always a thought of sir that how are we going to take this forward and what are we doing on this? So that gave a thought to us that we should do something, because now earlier it was that after your graduation, till the graduation, the parents were considering that it is my responsibility. But now the concept has changed. It has come to 12th. So till 12th only we will take care of you, and after that you have to take care of yourself. So that concept is coming in. And with that concept after 12th, it is very much important for us that we have to earn and learn. And the university or the institute which is going to teach students how to earn money and how to make their future bright, I think so that university is going to actually rock. So we thought that we should do something on these lines, and that is how the birth of Kalpavriksha, Sree Kutumbh, and Student Nirbhar came into existence. So thanks to sir for that. Now, the next part of it is that the student-teacher engagement. Now, what are we looking here at? That when we launched this particular, when the thought process came in, the thought process was that there are a lot of students who are running businesses. We actually run an organization, and in this organization, you'll find that majority of them are the students who come from business families. And at every given point of time, whenever we talk to the students have always mentioned this, that, okay, I sell garments, or I sell lights, or I send some fixtures. And we normally, when we ask them that what is the price of this, just for an sake of understanding that what is the price level, and we find that there is a huge difference, that when we as a customer go to the market, we find that we pay a higher price. So at that point of time, a thought came to our mind that why not bring this to a platform? And we asked the student that, can you give this particular product at a little bit lesser price? And trust me, the concept was that everybody accepted very gracefully and said that why not? And if I'm not wrong, today we have called so many students, and basically till now we are successful in calling only 5,000 alumni. And calling, when we have called 5,000 alumni, we have got a success rate of only 750. So out of that 5,000, the success rate is 750. Let us say, forget about 750, even if 50% of them are going to come in, that itself is giving you a range of 300 plus, which is a very big concept. Now, forget about our existing students. If we are talking about our existing students, that is itself is a huge band. So the concept is really working, and people are saying that, yes, we will definitely give you at a price which you want. And that too, we are not going to charge you higher. So that was the first thought. And the concept there is the student and the teacher engagement. Now, what we have told the teachers that you can always talk about student Nirbhar. You can always look into that. If at all you want to get connected, if a teacher sings well, if a teacher is ready to come out with certain products for themselves, they can also come in. You can always give service also, because this is the first e-commerce website where you find that services are also being taken into consideration. Till now, it was only products. This is the first e-commerce platform where you will have services. Now, what we have done here, there are a lot of students who paint. There are a lot of students who come out with a lot of things. They will create their own music, or they may write poetry, or they may come out with 101 things. They may have a nice piece of music, but who is going to look at it? But Student Nirbhar is going to look at it and say that it is for sale. So if you really want this, you can always buy it. So if at all, if you have something, and all the teachers, if at all you know something, or you are very good in a particular concept, you can always come on Nirbhar, because you're a part of our JGI family. You can come on it, and you can always make money for yourself. And that is what is the vision of the chairman, where you find that the students, the teachers, all are at benefit, and all start making money out of this initiative. Now, students to join. So what we did is we did a teaser, and we told the students to join. I hope it plays, because technology. Yeah. second stage. This is a public domain teaser, which we are going to give it to the public and have a look at it. Okay, now how the student gets into the business of student Nirbhar? Very simple. The entry is absolutely free. Anybody can come in. The teachers can come in. If you have a connect with somebody who is now was a student or has a connect with JGI, all of you can come. Basically, all of you can. So the concept is registration and the profile of the business. Okay. And then availability of the stock. Formalities from the legal point of view. We have lawyers. We have chartered accountants. Everything all set. Terms and conditions. The MOUs will be set in here. And the free listing and the process starts. So you have to give a catalog, and that free listing happens. And then after that, if your product is good, people will accept it. But then, yes, we are going to do a lot of marketing for this, and it's going to make a lot of difference. I think if it works, and if we work with the alumni itself, with the JJ Connect, and if at all we are going to tell them that you are going to get into going for the website, I'm very sure that we will have a crowd or a traffic of more than 1 or 2 lakhs every day. That to our own crowd. So if at all, if we are going to get into, of course, we'll get into I'll show you the visibility planning. At that point of time, we are getting into Instagram, we are getting into Twitter, we are getting into Facebook, we are getting into all sorts of social media. So you imagine the amount of crowd which is coming in, and understand one thing, that whatever is available at Amazon at 100 is available on Student Nirbhar at 90 or 95. Now you can imagine what is going to happen. Okay, this is the customer process. The customer's choice, the stock availability, customer order line, order is processed, payment is made online, packaging starts, order shipped, order successfully delivered. We are already associated with Rocket Couriers. They are supposed to be the best. So there are only 2 huge companies, that is DHL and Rocket. So we are associated with Rocket, and whatever you are getting from Amazon is from Rocket as well as DHL. So they are the fastest, and they do their service very, very nicely. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the website, and I can also show you a transaction. Can Roshan help me? Yeah. Now, before that, if you look into the offers, now there is something very interesting all of you can look into. So these are the offers. So we are going to give offers here, and whatever new products come in, whatever you want to give, you can give as offers. There's something called giveaway. Now, what is this part? Is nothing but the same thing. I want to sell my sofa. I'm fed up with this laptop now, so I want to sell this. I will put it on, and then I can sell it. Look at it. What is going to happen? See the mobile phones and the laptops which have been going to be sold on this particular concept of giveaways. Okay, and then electronics as usual. So we are tied up with very good electronics agencies. So all these people will come in here. Groceries, of course. I just want to give you an example. Bhagyalakshmi. It is said to be that whatever rice we are eating in India is because of Bhagyalakshmi. Okay, that is South India, sorry. And that is, he's a student. So he said, how much you want? Yeah, you just tell me what you want. These are students. Okay. So that is what is groceries. And look at this, that the prices are going to be very low. Very low means don't think 50% and all. Fashion And furniture, education. Now, this is very interesting. If you have a typical course, if you have developed something, okay, not the courses which we are selling on Jain, but other than that, if you have something extra, okay, if you are a very good musician or something like that, you can definitely do that. So education here, you can definitely get the services. Then the services here are by students, or maybe if you want to book a hotel, or you want some food to be booked, or whatever it is, the services are here. Pet products. This is a very interesting category, and many times you find that you don't get anything out of this. Gifting, this is a very sensitive area, and many people always get puzzled, so we'll guide them also. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay. And there are a lot of categories here. It's a huge website. It's not launched. Don't go home and check. Okay, we'll very soon launching it, and you will have all these products. Very interesting. Okay, this is what we have. Yeah. No, if you give me a 25%, I'll sell it at 50. Okay. You want to show a transaction? Yeah, you can. Yeah. And one more thing, this is truly Indian. Okay. So Chinese products are not available. Assembled? Yes. Okay. Don't look at me.
So this is the product page, sir. So we have the size category, 7, 8, 9 times, anything we can choose. We have a color option also, in by gray or black, whatever. You just add it to the cart. So we can just proceed to checkout. Details are already given here, sir. My address are given there. So if we are giving any discount code, we can apply there. Probably we can just continue to shipping. So continue to the payment. So payment gateway is not implemented yet, so we can just stop as a cash on delivery, and then we can complete the order. So order is processing, and then we'll get the order details. So this order has been placed already. So I'll be getting an email also. So this is the email what anybody purchases from Student Nirbhar, they'll be getting it. So this is the product summary and the entire details of the email.
Okay, now the last 2-3 slides and I'll finish. Now the steps what we have taken is, there is something called eco-planning. Eco-planning has nothing to do with economics. It is extensive coverage planning. We have started reaching people so that everybody gets this info on Student Nirbhar. Volume planning is basically the sales, where you have the interns who are going to look into the sales part, and they are also going to look into that what is happening and doing what is happening around, and what is the analysis of sales and what is going more from Student Nirbhar. Stock planning is basically after doing analysis, we'll get to know that, okay, what is required more from pan-India point of view. Okay. Then operations planning, there is a huge exercise, and right from supply chain till the order of the delivery, refund, and there are a lot of laws, rules, regulations which are there in this. So that happens at the operations level. Visibility planning is social media, and I'm very sure that we'll do our best in this particular area. Legal planning, all your MOUs, and then your tax, your GST, everything has been looked into. Training planning is basically all the students who are coming in, all the teachers who are coming in. There's a lot of training happening at this particular area. Recruitment planning, we are going to recruit the top guys from the industry, basically because me and students will not be able to run this huge concept. So we require professionals. So we'll have 4 or 5 professionals from this industry who will come in and will be there. So that becomes better. And that's all with Student Nirbhar. So very soon, in 1 month's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Ishwaran Iyer, Pro Vice Chancellor, to address.
Respected Chairman, sir, Vice Chancellor, sir, Krishnan, sir, Sridhar Murthy, sir, Dinesh, Professor John and Sudarshan, my hello, sir, colleagues from the CMS Business School. I just wanted to share my experiences, what I have been able to do for Kalpavriksha. The entrepreneurship journey in Jain started in our MAT School of Business somewhere in 2001, when Chairman sir started the concept of creating business incubation. Basket Options was the first company. Under the mentorship and leadership of Krishnan sir, it started. Slowly, that concept started spreading. When we became university, the Jayanagar 9 block, through entrepreneurship and training, we created a few business entities. But earn while you learn, perhaps that concept came when disruption came due to pandemic. I think it was Sudarshan and Monu John who were called by Chairman sir, and sir started chiseling them, and they came out with various concepts. And then Dinesh sir was chiseled to create Student Nirbhar. So that is how the idea of Kalpavriksha and Student Nirbhar was born. I intervened over a period of time, and I wanted to share the proof of concept, what actually has happened till now, and what I myself have experienced. When I was doing my first year PUC, I came from a time when we had the 11 plus 1 plus 3. We had 11 years of schooling, 1 year of pre-degree, and 3 years of graduation we had. So when I was doing my first year degree or pre-degree, which we used to call, in western part of India, it was called as a junior college. When I was studying, 2 of my classmates were the nephews of Karsanbhai Patel, who was the founder of Nirma. They came out with that Nirma washing powder. And that was the first time when they were trying to compete with 2 powerful brands. One was Det and one was Surf. Det and Surf, they were sold between 5 to 7 rupees per kg. I'm talking about 75, 76. And these people, they came out with a 1 kg packet at 2 rupees. And why I'm telling all proof of concept will work is because as early as 1975, 76, I have undergone that and I have done it. In 75, 76, when I was doing my PUC, Karsanbhai's nephews, they came to me. I was a student leader in my class. He said, why don't you tap students and give an opportunity to them so that they can earn 50 paisa per packet? Perhaps in that, the first thing what they did was they came out with a stainless steel spoon, which was given free. And that was the first time when Government of India, through the Hindustan Steel Limited, came with, and every housewife wanted to have a stainless steel spoon. It was sold at 1 rupee a piece. So it worked, it clicked. From a blue powder to Surf, a household name, Nirma came, and today it is history. Chairman sir, in fact, before joining Jain Group, he already had established his credentials through his business acumen by having a very successful textile business. In fact, he was a revolutionary textile distributor navigating the entire southern India. So it's ruled out that whatever he says has to be successful. So when he came with the concept of having earn while you learn, I think I endorsed that opinion and said, sir, we should do it, we should go ahead. When I did my MCOM, it was in 81, 79, 81. Now you know batteries that I'm talking about the national Panasonic brand had collaborated with 2 groups. One was Lakhanpal National in Baroda, and one was the Nippo. So northern and western India was handled by Lakhanpal National. It was called as the Novino batteries. And the southern and eastern India was taken by Nippo batteries. Both of them were selling the same. It was a metal cat battery. Every box used to be of 25 pieces. While Everready, which was a household name, there were 2 brands, Everready and Estrella. Everready was a household name. But they were finding it difficult because metal cat battery was more attractive than a people cat battery. And they then came out with the concept. We as a MCOM student, I think in my generation, what happened, MBA was not there. Perhaps IIMs was the only institute which used to give a PG DBM courses. Later on I did it. But when I was doing, I think MCOM was a very good course those years. I'm talking about 17 and 18 months. As a part of my MCOM final semester, we were supposed to do an internship. I did it in Indian Carbide. Now it's called as Eveready Industries India Limited. When I did, they gave us a project to sell Star and Koido batteries, which was manufactured in Russia by Union Carbide. And they wanted to navigate into the Indian market, where students were given incentives for selling those products. So when I was a student of PUC, when I sold Nirbhar products, I used to earn 100 rupees a month by selling 200 packets with 50 paisa as a margin. And 100 rupees a month, those days was very big salary because household income used to be 100 rupees. So, and that also in a market like Gujarat is supposed to be highly competitive, dominated by Parvatis, Gujaratis, Hindis, Memonis, Muslims. Still you had to do it. But perhaps that was the first thing which I felt personally that yes, what sir is talking about, what sir is telling about, definitely it is going to be a model which will click. And yes, it's just like Flipkart, whatever Jane does, it is accepted in the market. Whether it's an educational product, whether it is a product related to Ayurvedic or beauty or wellness or student development or e-commerce, it is accepted in the market because I have traveled widely as a part of the admission process and see what brand Jane has got. In January 2021, I remember me and Chairman sir had gone to Delhi, where 70 to 80 ambassadors and diplomats were invited for the launch of our online approval, which UGC had given us. The university gave us a approval to give a UGC entitled degree program. So the topic basically that day was Industry 4.0, relevance of online education, gross enrollment ratio, something was the topic to be discussed. Suddenly, sir saw all the ambassadors. He changed the entire concept. He said how disparity of income can be changed and how opportunities can be given to the students who pursue a career in online education. Believe me, out of those 70 countries, 10 of them have already signed with Jane. I think Krishnan sir has already signed the MOU. Government of Guyana, whom sir said, I will help you all with this sort of a products, what we are doing. We'll help you with entrepreneurial opportunities to the students, especially through the e-commerce platform, what we have created. They have shown interest. And in the first slot, we got 3,000 students. Then, around 2 months ago, when we had the celebrations, when we completed 10,000 students in our online, we had a few information centers which was globally located. They all had come to Bangalore, and Chairman sir had given a talk to them. One of them was called as GTech. His name is Mehruf. He is, I think, as big as Aptech when it comes to giving training programs related to emerging technologies and businesses. And he has run 1,000 centers globally. Sir gave him an idea, why don't you look into this Kalpavriksha type of products? The first thing what he told was, sir, Manapuram, Thodapuzha, Movatupuzha, Thrissur, Palakkad, Trivandrum, and Calicut. Sir, I'll open the centers, you tell me. And the beta we tested there, and the acceptance of that opportunity given to the students, he says, not only your center should earn, the students also are coming, they should earn their fees. The concept got clicked there. The beta got clicked there. Meanwhile, before we wanted to launch it in Jain University, since I mentor the MAST School of Business as well as the Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College, two campuses, Vasavi Road and the Evening College, we tried one model with the students, especially in the Evening College. Most of the students who join the Evening College, they go for chartered accountancy. Unfortunately, the regulations of chartered accountancy or the evaluations of chartered accountancy are so tough that 80% of them either they leave the course halfway through, discontinue. So when I was trying to position our MCOM and the MBA programs of online, I was asking them, what will you do now? Because you don't have a family business, you don't have completed your chartered accountancy, what? Can you look into a possibility of creating earn while you learn opportunity, especially when you have products like this? They went into an informal survey. They went into the family members, informal survey. I told them, you have a food product, you have this. And believe me, most of the students, they came and said, sir, when can we start? We want to do it. in the Math School of Business, because it's a B school, we are formally planning to have an official survey done by them as a part of a report, giving them all the tools required. And based on that report, we'll come back and say that this is the actual. So we have an informal collection. We have a partner already. There are foreign countries who are interested in doing it, and Math School of Business will do it, a formal report. I think I don't have to tell about CMS Business School because they are way ahead. Coming back to this, with all these things happening, then why is it that teachers and students of Jain should go about it? It is Chairman Sir's vision and dream that all of you have contributed to the growth of Jain. I think it's about 30 years now, 32 years. I think Dinesh Sir is senior to me, Krishnan Sir is senior to me, Sridhar Murthy Sir has been my colleague. Sir says that unless and until my people, my team, my army who have worked hard, who have been together, who have been a part of my success journey, unless and until they are not established or stable, how can I sleep? So this particular opportunity, what Sir has designed for all of us, is that not only the students earn for themselves, even the teachers should have, so that by the time when we retire, of course there's no retirement in Jain, but as we grow older, the sense of insecurity comes. And that's the time, we should have enough bank balances. And extras like Saptagiri and Roshan or Harsha, they should have enough money to spend because Saptagiri is a Rajnikant fan. You spend 500 rupees to buy the first day ticket. Where will you get the money from? So this is the opportunity what we will get. So this is the reason why Sir felt that, first is my family. My family means is the JJR family. Then only it is our family. So it's my request that take up this opportunity. See that all of us join hands together. Based on what I have done as a part of a commerce student, and I have seen success has come. And with our experiences and the type of products what we have, success will always be there. It's only that we have to have an effective time management to see that we take out time, make sincere efforts, rest all you leave it, rest all you will see, future will talk about it. Thank you, Sir, for this opportunity. And on behalf of the team of Kalpavriksha and student Nirbhar, we are here to share our experiences, give you timely solutions so that there are no blockades in our path to success. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Professor Monujan to further the proceedings.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce some of the colleagues of mine, as well as Aditya, one of our super seniors students here at CMS Business School, who has successfully established tuk-tuk autos, auto hailing app in the state of Odisha. And he's been working with me for the last 1.5 months. I've been mentoring him on why he wants to scale up and grow his business. He wants to cover the whole state of Odisha, as well as the neighboring states, Jharkhand and so on. So Aditya, can I request you to please come up and explain your idea and your startup? This is our first mentoring program under
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries, all the professors and everyone in the room. I'm Aditya Singh, ex-student CMS B School, specialized in entrepreneurship and family business management. So I've been taught by Lubna ma'am, John sir, and I've been mentored by all the other professors as well. So we had a great idea about entrepreneurship and how it goes around and how to create a business. So post-COVID times, our classes were off. So we went back to our home. I helped my father with his transportation business. And we came up with this idea of launching an online auto hailing app. So in our city in Orissa, because the whole state lacked infrastructure like that, and players like Ola and Uber never operated. They tried to come there, but they couldn't operate because of some of the factors, which we learned when we entered the market and talked to auto drivers and everyone in the industry. So starting off with what is tuk-tuk autos? The basic idea of tuk-tuk autos is to revive, transform, and develop the micro market of auto and cab hailing in India, starting off with Orissa. When I say micro markets, what do I mean? Startups like Ola and Uber define these micro markets as cold markets in their books because they have tried and tested their systems and business model here, but it couldn't work out due to the costing factor, also in compliance of, and also the auto drivers and the unions that didn't comply with the business model and their terms and conditions. So in order to tackle that, what we did, we went out and talked to the auto drivers first. But what is the problem? We could come up with a few problems we could list out, and then we sorted out to think about the solutions that goes around it. Here is a lean canvas, and in here I want to point out just two things: is the unique value proposition and also the unfair advantage which we get. The unique value proposition is that we are trying to revive and transform the micro markets first. So we're adopting a bottoms-up approach rather than a top-down approach. So we are eyeing the first tier 2, tier 3 cities plus the rural markets. Then we want to go to tier 1 cities. Along with that, the problems that we identified has allowed us to come up with a solution where we are working first with the communities of the auto drivers and also the unions that operate in these cities. Right? The unfair advantage is that we are grassroots implementation and everything. So when we come to the problem, this is where I want to emphasize. The first problem that we identified was non-price standardization across the city. It always works in a bargain market where customer has to bargain with the auto driver, which attracts a lot of customer rejection, as well as non-price standardization where customers doesn't get good rates for the auto services or the rides. Second problem, which is a major problem, is the costing problem. Where does it point towards is the presence of diesel autos and not CNG and LPG autos. So the price point which Ola and Uber, who are our direct competitors, or a lot of indirect competitors who have not scaled up in the auto hailing market, face is in tier 1 and tier 2 cities, they get LPG and CNG autos where the costing is very less. But when you go to tier 3 and rural markets, there is a presence of diesel autos and also petrol autos where the costing is more. So whereby these startups want to lower the market prices, the auto drivers, when we had a talk with them, they said that these startups don't want to work in the market prevailing prices because the customers are also willing to pay. So lack of union and infrastructure was also one of the major points which we encountered. Lack of union precedents, compliance with the government law and order, and also compliance with local bodies like RTOs and the prevailing laws under which the auto drivers should comply. There was also a problem of poor face value of driver due to excessive use of substances which are not allowed in the society, right? Because of that, the customers were getting rejected. There was a problem of price. Also, there is a very poor service quality, which leads to a poor customer preference, right? So we thought about the solutions, and that led us to our mission and vision. So our mission is to serve customers through tuk-tuk online app, mobile application, which we already have launched and listed in the Google Play Store, and the tuk-tuk local counter, which comes under our business model, which we call as the hybrid model of operations, which we have adopted to collectively enforce the growth of both the community and also create business around it. So through our tuk-tuk online app and the local counters, what we are establishing is a tech-based booking, checkout, monitoring solutions throughout the city for the auto drivers, for the customers, and also the government officials who wants the market to be regulated. Our vision is directly focused towards reviving, transforming, and amplifying the service capacity of auto drivers. So by amplifying the service capacity of auto drivers, what do I mean? If an auto driver is earning just by reserve trips, what we are planning, what we are implementing on grounds is that one auto driver will be able to provide 3 to 4 services and make money out of these 3 or 4 services, which I'll be discussing now. So in Tuk-Tuk, we have a value of developing parallelly 2 verticals, whereby in one vertical, we develop the community, the auto drivers. We help the auto drivers community form a union around them, get their presidents appointed, and also get them registered under the Societies Act, which is registered under the registrar, which in turn attracts preparation of a bylaw and also compliance with the state transport ministry's rules as well. Another segment is, which goes without saying, is the customer growth and customer retention segment in the online, both offline platform. Now, if we talk about the specific solutions which we are trying to provide, first comes the price. The price standardization of auto rides throughout the city. So when we had a talk with the auto drivers, what they wanted a startup to do is to accept the market price and integrate it somewhere in the process. So when I say hybrid model, what do? We are also in the online market through a mobile application, and we are also in the offline market through local counters. When I say offline market, I refer exactly to the hotspot locations in the city, where the city management and also the auto drivers face problem handling the passengers' customer flow. By hotspot location, I mean the railway station, the bus stand, the airport, and also major points in the city. Suppose if they have a shopping mall or education institution, or when it comes to our area and in the areas which we are operating, those are industrial hubs. So the mass production of presence and production capacity of industries like Vedanta, L&T, big projects, civil projects, Aditya Birla, and all the other sectors as well. So they have a huge manpower mobilization that goes around every day from the rural villages to these tier 3 cities. So when we put up a counter in a local market or an offline spot like this in railway station, so we are able to generate volume sales in these markets, which is far greater than the online market. So for the online market, where we are spending a lot of money in marketing, in the offline market, we are gaining sales numbers and we are creating volume without even spending a penny. Second is community building. Here we need to understand that big companies like Ola and Uber have failed because of lack of a union. So what we did is first-hand work with the union presidents, the local government authoritative bodies, and the union presidents and auto leaders to build a community which goes around a common agenda and operates according to a common agenda, price points, and also division of auto drivers into these offline counters, which also act as our dispatch point for the online bookings. So in order to give them a better deal, what we are trying to do is work with other companies who are in this segment. Suppose, for example, if we tie up with an insurance company, we can leverage that to the auto drivers as well. So what problem we identified was lack of documentation among auto drivers as well, lack of driving license, pollution papers, and also failed insurances, which does not comply with the transport department's laws and orders. So we are tying up with companies who can give them all these services for a good rate as well. So customer relationship management, what we did is positive customer reception through Tuk-Tuk local counters. So through Tuk-Tuk local counters, we have employed counter managers. So for that as well, we are employing children of these auto drivers so that we can build a relationship with them too. So these boys, we have a team of 10 people right now operating in one city, which with a hybrid model allows us a capture rate of more than 75 to 80%, whether it be vendor aggregation or customer acquisition. This is what I was talking about, was creating multiple services out of one auto rickshaw or one tuk-tuk, what we call it. So through one tuk-tuk, our services as online mobile application for doorstep pickup, offline tuk-tuk counters for faster checkouts and billings, and also taking data of that. Tourism sector, because the whole state of Orissa and the Orissa government allows a lot of funds to be invested towards boosting the tourism, and that is what the future plans are, to push Orissa towards a tourism-based state. Also, in Tier 2 and rural cities, a lot of shop vendors and local communities rely on these auto rickshaw for the supply chain services. So we have established a hotline number throughout the city to book orders and call these orders for the good supply chain as well. And monthly package, obviously, which we are pushing towards schools and colleges. So approved circular, everything happens in an approved circular. We have, right now we are operating in one railway station with a licensed counter from IRCTC, from the division, and the TRM and his team are have tied up with us to put up this counter and run it. In talks with Orissa Transport Department to gain all Orissa license to operate in any citywide in Orissa. So timing we think is perfect because of the post-COVID recovery and also increased customer flow. Plus the ongoing preparations for the Hockey World Cup and also increased government investment towards development of Western Orissa. So the market size which we are targeting with a capture rate of 75 to 80% is a total population of 4.3 crores. We are targeting a population of 3 crore plus in the online and both the offline market. Right? This is the data of villages just around Jharsuguda, which we are trying to cover under our 5 services. So target market will basically consist of the working adults between 18 to 60 because of the presence of industrial hub. Also daily rural commuter, which comes directly under the Tuk-Tuk local program, whereby we don't even have to collect the customer's information. It's just walk-in bookings and a receipt-based system, whereby we are giving them auto services in a fixed price point. Schools and colleges students I've already mentioned for the monthly packages. Homemaker working women as part of our safe rides, which we are promoting. Local supply stores, industrial sub-vendors and manpower mobilization, and outstation travel for tourism boost. So the traction which we have recorded in 9 weeks of operations in the railway station counter is laid out here. We have been able to create more than 18 lakhs in sales with 10,909 completed bookings of our data recorded in our systems with an aggregation rate of more than 65% as of now, whereby we have aggregated 280 autos in just one city. So I would like to point out that if our competitors come into the same city with just the online operations, they would only aggregate 50 to 100 autos in order to meet the demand of that city, whereby our business model allows us to develop a whole ecosystem for the entire government official and also create a community around it and then create business out of it. So the strategy which we adopt is by gaining confidence of the unions, management officials and local government bodies. By leveraging the gain confidence, we are able to fix the price across the city, which has not been possible till now. And we are also highlighting the tourism boost, which we are giving to the state government, which will help us obtain the All Orissa transport license. Plus, we are also collecting tax from a sector which has never even paid tax. So when I talk about the counter system which we are operating, suppose in railway station, so every 100 rupee booking will attract a 5% GST. Also a license fee which we pay to the railways and the Southeastern Railways. They are earning money through license. The government is earning from us through state GST, CGST and SGST. And the auto drivers are also able to fix the price and increase the volume of sales and trips that they do because of the price fixation and introduction of a corporate handle. So the tactics that we adopt is obviously the society registration. So we get them society registered with a bylaw prepared by the legal entities and also IRCTC counter license. So when I say everything works around approved circular, everything works around the license agreement and the OTDC approval as well. Focus on user growth for online sales, which is a must and also contributes to our valuation. Concentrating autos in hotspot areas through Tuk-Tuk local. So if we have signed 280 auto, we have been able to get them under these counters and manage them and keep a track of them on data, on systems, which we are also willing to share with the local transport department for customer safety purposes. So the current execution of Tuk Tuk Local is that we are handling Jharsuguda railway station under a licensed agreement, 280 autos plying in the city, drivers and a customer mobile application which is uploaded in the Google Play Store, and also a billing app which also contributes to our asset. So the valuation of $3 million we are raising, we are expecting to raise a seed capital of 1 million. So when startups raise seed capital, they are looking to develop their MVP and operationalize it. But it is to be noted that we have already operationalized our MVP and it's operational and generating revenue. So the asset mix we have is 3 online application plus 1 licensed counter from the CKP division, Chakadirpur. And we are in talks with OTDC to acquire all Orissa license along with the local bodies. Spending 75% of it towards expansion, which I as capturing all of Orissa by the end of next year, by the end of first year, and attracting 25% towards this. This is the breakup of how we're gonna spend the expenses, whereby attracting major towards salaries and also attracting towards development of the tech in which we want to invest more. So our assets, it's focused on developing tech and license-based counter, whereby all the other startups shy away from creating assets. But what we are trying to do is create a community. So along with licensed counters, which acts our asset maintenance counter, and also projecting a hybrid structure for developing and setting up a OEM of lithium-ion battery production unit next year of a small scale with a scalability of 1 gigawatt in the next 4 years. So words to ponder, what we say is, with our hybrid model implemented in the city, any passenger who is trying to take an auto will go through the online or offline system of Tuk Tuk autos throughout the city. So every passenger who is riding an auto will go through the Tuk Tuk systems, either online or offline. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditya. Congratulations. I'd like to take this opportunity to also acknowledge the great work and the great initiatives that the entrepreneurship and new venture creation specialization that we offer here at CMS Business School has been doing over a period of time. Dr. Harold and Dr. Dinesh, along with the area chair for general management, as well as the area chair for the OB and HR area that I belong to, they entrusted the specialization coordinatorship to me. And I'm very proud to present my team, starting with Dr. Lubna, Professor Sakshi, and Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. They comprise my team that has done the initial work here at CMS Business School to take the entrepreneurship journey forward. I'd like to now take the pleasure of inviting Mr. Nayaz from CRC to share a few words with us.
Thank you, respected Chancellor, Chairman, sir, all the dignitaries here. As Ishwaran sir mentioned, CRC was launched in 2001. Though it was not called CRC, then it was a few entrepreneurs a few MBA students who Chairman sir nurtured and helped them to grow. And I think the first generation of entrepreneurs are actually sitting here in front of us, who actually took the foundations of entrepreneurship into all the students and faculties from there on. In terms of the startups itself, sir mentioned basket options. So Abdul, Jia, and Nihal, they were the kind of first generation of entrepreneurs who started companies. Since then, we have, and I'm very happy to announce that this year we have incubated close to 100 companies along with CRC and Jain University Incubation Center. And we have through Jain University Incubation Center, which is a technology business incubator along with CRC, work together on various initiatives and activities. I'm sure some of the activities might have touched you always, be it idea competition, be it InventTech, be it multiple business plan competitions. We have conducted many hackathons and makeathons across the campuses and in fact, across the country as well. So I think, not taking much time here, I think the opportunity is given here to walk in the footsteps of our chairman, sir. So let us all kind of take that a leap of faith and take up entrepreneurship through the initiatives which have been presented here. Thank you very much.
It's already 10, so I don't want to take much time of yours. We planned for 1 hour, but there is a well done, Aditya, and I'm sure you have planned it very well. A lot of challenges which you'll have to foresee because whenever we do small, it works out. But scale, it requires a lot of integration. But the concept is good, the idea is good, and what I like is that at this age you could think something out of the box. So we should give a big round of applause. John will be the right mentor for you and will support in whatever way it's possible for you to scale up. There are certain interventions which may be changes which I could see in that, which I will suggest you how it has to be scaled and how it has to be looked into. Because autos in other places or this places, there are certain cultural differences which we have to look into that. And that's possibilities there. So I have one fund which we have created, a 200 crore fund, Mr. Sunil, Sprout Capital. So he's going to be in touch with you and Monojon will introduce you. So we'll take it forward and see what best we can do. Not much to share. I think all action by Monu and Sudarshan, Mr. Sudarshan and Dinesh has already been envisaged to you. I foresee a huge disruption in next 2 years. In offline, I don't see even 10 students coming to the campuses. I maintain that even today. Though Dinesh sir doesn't agree with me till now also, every time. But that has happened. Whenever I said, it has happened. So it's not that I'm a soothsayer or a Nostradamus or what it is. It is a common sense. It's a science. It's a mathematics. But you all teach in the classroom. This analytic, if you follow this method, this is the result. So it's all concept of, and 44 years of experience, you can foresee a lot of things. It's a so you all can put it into structure. So I wanted a structure. This is where I think Monu and John sir and Sudarshan went through 100 sessions of mine. Night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, 1.5 hours, 2 hours through mobile, I think Skype or whatever we did from that camp, Zoom conference, we had to tell him. 100, I think they bore the brunt of my tsunami for 100 sessions. You should have stamina for that. So, and he lost 15 kg also through that, Mr. Sudarshan. Mr. Dinesh, okay, he has been there from the starting, so he understands me better. Dr. Ishwaran understands me better. He was senior. Ishwaran joined 18 years before. This IR brain is completely different. I don't know how many IRs are here. 1 IR is equivalent to 1,000 IRs. 1,000 other normal people. That is how he thinks. Dr. Raj Singh, when I appointed him, I said, no, if it is project-centric learning, if you are out of the box, if normal way, don't join. If you are ready to face the criticism, if you are ready to penetrate, I am there to support you. It may, because first the teachers will resist, challenges will be there. Our own people will resist. Who have been with me, my own people will resist. Maybe I will also resist that because there will be challenges, there will be concepts which people will not understand. But it's a process. It has to evolve over a period of time. So I'm sure in 2-3 years, we'll be able to master the art of project-centric learning. And each project-centric should be an entrepreneurial outcome. My idea is very simple. The income by 80% of the wealth of the world is centralized by not more than 60 to 80 entrepreneurs on the planet. and there's a population of 800 crores. More than 2/3 are not even access to basic water, sanitation. By 2035, the planet should be hunger free. And it may look very, it look utopian order, but it is workable. When Gandhiji thought that I'll get a freedom for the country, everybody would have laughed at him. When Jhansi's Rani 1857, she did it, everybody would have laughed at her. But she gave her life. Bhagat Singh, single man, just a bomb, and he gives away his life. But imagine on martyrs, thousands and millions of people, if you look at the civilization. So somewhere a movement begins through a spring, and then it becomes a well, then it becomes a lake, and then it becomes a river, and then it becomes an ocean. So somebody has to build the cat. He built the cat, he said, I'll take unions, I will take government in confidence. So he found a gap there. So knowledge and application of mind. So any subjects what we teach, it's not an extension of just we conduct examination and give marks and send them. It doesn't work like that. It has to be applied. That 30 years I've been struggling, and I've not succeeded also, honestly speaking, neither with Harold, neither with Dinesh sir, neither with teachers. And they come in one unity of opposition. 99.99 teachers will oppose. Somebody will say complaint, somebody will say Shweta has come, so this I will call a teacher and say, no, how can she think she is young? So all these ego issues are there. And somewhere when we want to compliment teacher, they don't want to come, they only want to find fault finding. Auditors find faults, forensic audit finds faults, but I'm looking at the opportunity there. It's not at the faults. But I feel sad for some people who became negative and they react on such a thing. Maybe many of them have laughed at Monujan and what all this is. This may also not click, but then there is an idea, there is an effort. If you don't gain anything, you don't lose anything also. It only adds to our learning experience. But I know why it can work. It is 30 years of my thought process. It doesn't happen overnight, it's presentation and all. Only thing, I could not create the slides, I did not want to write. I didn't want to do that. He wanted to be the professor, he's been trained for that. So they can give thoughts to it. So Dinesh. Dinesh is an action man. He's also less writer than me. He also doesn't like to write, but he knows how to extract work from others. Dr. Ishwaran, off late, is little bit trying to write now. Otherwise, he also knows how to extract. Raj Singh knows how to write down all the presentations because he's been trained like that. So Darshan knows how to present it. This boy, I should appreciate with the help of the professors, what you have trained. He could present so well today. See the confidence in this young man. Business success, failure is if you don't attempt, what will you know what is a failure and a success? So academic community, I always respect. In fact, when I see all these negative reactions within the group, many a times I say, I tell them nothing to worry. They are our people. They will understand because they have not been exposed to that. So naturally it will come. In electives, 20 electives, 40 electives, 20 electives, these all things are possible. But the disruption is extraordinary. The shelf life is not more than 3 days, 4 days, 5 days for any innovation. Next day, today he is come with tuk-tuk, some other person will overtake his better and come out with better. 19-year-old boy Zepto wants to become an unicorn. 10 minutes grocery delivery to your house. Imagine a basket, big basket has been doing for 6 years. Reliance has been doing for 10 years. I don't know, Walmart has been doing for 35 years or 40 years in the United States of America. But today this boy, a 19-year-old boy can think of that. Waste management, all the plastic one boy picks up and contains all the materials, he creates all textile materials. So one of the entrepreneur, Vijay Surya from my side only, when I started this idea program, we had only 12 students. 25 lakh rupees I charged. But we gave them all the training. Today, this boy, after 5 years of struggle, he's come out with all, Vijay Surya has come out with all the breakfast, which will break all the records. MTR has Orkla has taken 50 to 70 years. So now the world records of 50-year-old people existence can be broken in 2 days. One Mr. Aditya can break Ola record and overtake them also. Bhavish Agrawal at 20. So it's not that it is now that concept of technology has scaled. You have 800 crores. So when my only concern is that rich are becoming richer. Mukesh Ambani has $100 billion net worth of Amazon or Tesla. They don't want to die only. So they are putting billions of dollars on how to live longevity. But they don't, but nature cannot be overtaken. Maybe 100 years, 120 years. But what at 20, at 80, they makes a difference. What at 60? Definitely life has to go through wisdom. So that is life. They don't. So 80% of the wealth, China has been already declared that they are the bigger than USA. And he challenged Biden. So if you touch Taiwan by fire, you will get burnt. Imagine the boldness there. In 30 years, they can transform the whole world. So, okay, they are peace loving or not, that's a debatable point, but definitely they have shown their might. So what happens when only 100 people or 200 people on the planet has 80% of the wealth? They have already taken it. And today they are going to capture everybody. So there will be only 20 people who will have the whole wealth of the world. There will be no banks after 10 years. There will be no banks after 10 years. Cryptocurrency, everything will be digital. You don't even require all these things. So there no, you talk avatars, you talk about your own colleagues will be your, I think your, what you call colleagues will be computers for you. They'll have emotions, they'll have artificial, they'll have multiple intelligence. There'll be robots will be their colleagues. You don't even require human beings. So where have we reached? So I have already thought of it 5 years before. Some 3,000 acres land in Puttaparthi, near Puttaparthi. I've seen Sree Puttaparthi Sai Baba, who created that vision of that. And I went through the entire 30 years of their case study. The students who studied free there, including Dr. Sandeep Shastri also was from that institution only. And Dr. Hanumantappa was the vice chancellor. And I went there, bypass surgery is free. That man was a great visionary. Whatever may be the issues, but he was a divine soul. And divinity comes from you all. So you are also Sai Baba, you are also Lord Mahavira, you are also Jesus. I could see that 6,000 people they educate free. 30 years, imagine the alumni will be more than 30,000, 35,000 alumni. And I connected with more than 500 people. If I look at that age and other age contemporaries of their age, they are 100 times better in value system, in discipline, in approach, in satisfaction level, and also growth level. I've seen them grow very well. So they accepted that they are going to give their governance first. So what happens to the slum children? What happens to the tribal children? What happens to the orphan children? How do I educate those one? I wanted to adopt 1,25,000 children, 25,000 from across the country, from the poor countries like Rwanda's and all, Ethiopia's and so on, the president's scholarship. Can we create a facility there and create an agriculture? The entire army, we tied up with the army, 500 rupees, 700 rupees, we'll give any courses they want. So army has given us the courses. We are trying to properly edit it and give it. And already some 2,000 people we have started training the whole country. It has gone up to PMO also. 150. Then I announced 2 crore people, I'll get 150 rupees, any courses, whatever they want. So by next year, we are launching Malayalam online. So it is not about money. If you require only 25,000 rupees a month to manage yourself. My whole family of 9 people, 25,000 of groceries with badam and with mangoes and with fruits and all the best of the mangoes from Hapus, whatever you call best of the mango. Still 26,500 bill doesn't go beyond that. Including my granddaughter, what will she eat? Maybe some dresses and then I looked at in 2 years, I didn't even purchase 1 pant and 1 shirt. I'd have 10 years of stock with me. What did I do? Why did I spend 5 lakh rupees a year or 2 lakh rupees a year for a jeans pant or a shirt? Okay, mine was very minimalistic only, but in that also I felt it was exuberance for me. Some 6 sets in a year was not required for me. 3 sets is more than enough for me. And this is looking fresh, new, 5-year-old shirt. For another 10 years I can wear. What is blue? Gents require only green color, blue color, white color. Ladies have different designs and yellow page, and there are millions of designs. Gents only 3 colors. I was a shooting textile man, so I know how much. In that we used to mix up different colors and say, okay, this shade blue, shade little blue, little white. It all thousands of colors we used to create, but nothing. End of the day, it is only green, white, and blue, and navy blue. That's all. So disparity in income. So the whole idea is to come to my conclusion. The disparity in income, everybody should earn 20 to 50 lakh rupees a year. That is will balance the world. If everybody gets centralized, they'll have yachts, they'll have aircraft. What happened to Vijay Mallya and what happened to Shah and what happened to all the end of the day, it's going to be luxury for themselves, and they used to spend 2 crores a day. Imagine 2 crores a day, how many children were 25 children, crore children are studying in government schools. So my idea is that if I can succeed in the 1,25,000 students, this distribution of wealth within the group and students, and we have done it for all the institutions of India. So we are not relying on Jain University only. Jain University is still, Dr. Ishwaran knows, I gave him the entire calculation of how 20,000 crores of business can happen within the 20,000 students. Within the family tree where you have 300 people known contact within your mother's side, from your father's side, from your sister's side, from your brother's side. When you invite anybody for a marriage or a function at home, 200 people, definitely any person sitting here will have 200 contact near and near. It works. It works. So 50 lakh rupees a student or 20 lakh rupees. So I'm looking at solopreneurship. I'm looking at that more than million to 5 million people should earn 30, so that it balances the society. Otherwise, rich are becoming richer and poorer become poorer. Civil war, it attracts civil war in 2 years in India. Right? The politicians will have their own challenges. Prime Minister will have his own challenge. They are at the strategic level, but then ground level, there is a lot of difference. 6,76,000 villages. So how do we do that? The alternative energy. Millions of products are possible. It is only the analytical and approach. Through student Nirbhar or Sree Kutumbh, it is going to become a movement. I am interested in a movement. I am not interested in new wealth. Wealth gets distributed automatically. Whether it is a Jain family, or whether it is for the students, or whether it is for the vendor, whether it is a supplier, or whether it is a manufacturer. Already for this Baidyanath product, Kerala, I told them you produce all the product because Nykaa is selling at 2,000 rupees a tube. I can give it at 200 rupees. Why should they spend 10,000? But she has become 7 billion. But I know that. Falguni Pathak, Sanjay Nair, KKR. Great. She was great entrepreneur, appreciable what they have done. Because they had the capacity, they had the bankers, they had the contacts, they used the networking, and they did it. But what about the ordinary people? Not everybody can become Falguni Pathak. Not everybody can become Warren Buffett. Not everybody can. But what about the common man? Here within Karnataka, 6 crore population. You think of 125 crores population in India. 25 crore children. Tomorrow they are going to be 15-year-old, 20-year-old. What will be their education? India cannot afford 4 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees fees. So Dinesh was talking about 6 lakhs fees, 4 into and all. How many will afford? Not more than that. And they are wasting this money here, students. 6 lakhs rupees a year, 4 lakhs rupees for their expenditure, and then boyfriend, girlfriend, 5 lakh rupees birthday gifts, 15 lakh rupees. And that is already out of this 1,000 people, some 80% couples have already disposed and proposed and disposed already. So second, third, fourth round friendship are happening. So they are wasting their time. They are wasting their time, students. And I was also once upon a time youngster, but I utilized my time. So I knew it will take 30, 40 years for me. My efforts has been 40 years. It has not happened overnight. Dr. Ishwaran has understood me. Dinesh can understand me. Others will take long time to understand me. I think 2% they have understood me even today. Even today, he's in tension. Whenever I talk to him, he doesn't sleep for 2-3 days. After being 25 years with me, 5-10% they have understood. Ishwaran understood. So it's not easy to capture the thought processes, which goes 40,000 thoughts in a day positively, I think. So something gets connected there. So now I think we have a structure, we have a framework, we have an army of 1,000 professors and teachers. Another 1,000 will join. There are online, there are more than 1 billion students in next 2-3 years, and free education, 150 to 200 rupees across the country. Navy, Air Force, everywhere I'm meeting the commandants. I want the retired people to come and manage those 1,25,000 students. You require an army to manage those 1,25,000. Their parents, what happens to the girls' safety? We should keep their father and mother there, do the agriculture and understand, then training, self-defense. So they become better humans. That's Purpati Sai Baba's students across the world, they are doing very well in life. So I can see the value system. The 4:30 is to get up in the morning. So it becomes a disciplined life for them. So habits now has to be cultivated, and they should have a plan. They should have a goal. So career should be meaningful career, meaningful life, and a better life, a good life. I'm not saying exuberance, but at least a 30-50 lakh rupees a year should be. If we can create a 50 lakh rupees worth entrepreneurs, if they do a 5 crore rupees business, 50 lakh rupees, they can earn 10%, reasonable margin. Homemade products. In every student, I think we worked on Dr. Ishwaran and myself, I worked every micro calculation I gave that each student family, 10 lakhs a year, what is their requirements? From grocery to textile to travel, 10 lakhs into 20,000 is 2,000 crores, 120,000 crores business. I'm not saying only our India, I'm looking at the whole world as a whole. In fact, ambassadors were very thrilled. I just came out of the topic. I said, what will I talk 4G and all? They're all educated people. Just came on the stage and sat with them and told them that all your students who are going to pay $500, they should get $3,000. This is how I think GTech and Mayor of 108 colleges, 108 schools, boutique colleges. In my group, I promoted. There is sitting Roshan here. I saw a bill of 96 lakhs rupees on SMS. So this is where I get ideas. Ideas come daily, but people have to digest my ideas. So Dinesh sometimes switches off the phone and says, 3 days I'm out of with my wife's anniversary. Today I have to go to Dharmasthala, sir, for 2 days alone. He knew that day I'm going to catch him, those 2 days. Easily he plans, Manju Boli, sir, jana padega. So because hundreds of ideas, he says how to implement. It's very difficult. So at least there are some scapegoats with me who are ready to listen and go through it. But it's very difficult to manage my thought processes. And Dr. Ishwaran is somehow is able to listen anything, whatever I said, he'll just smile because he doesn't want to react at all. He doesn't. Roshan in this, they gave me 96 lakh rupees bill, SMS for the student analytical. I said 96 lakhs rupees. Now tell me the person who's sent the SMS, what guarantee has sent? There is cheating in that. There is a cheating. Yes, sir, 70% only SMS go, 30% there. So how will they do in 1 paisa profit? They have to cut somewhere. If suppose 100 grams, if the cost is less, so if you go to a big bazaar and buy a 100-gram pouch, or it will not be 100 grams. You open it and the consumer code will go 6 months, you have to spend more money. So it will be only 80 grams. In the rice, you'll find a lot of stones coming there, and they say in kgs they sell. So everywhere it is that question I questioned Banga in Bangalore Management Association. What is ethics in your business? He got very upset. 4 questions I caught him in 98, 99. Banga was a Hindustan liver. So I knew, because from young age I have seen business. I have seen Nirbhar. I have seen where the unethical drive. Even COVID itself, you take what the unethical, the pharmaceutical company, how they had control on the governments of governments. They have control. So it is what happens to a common man? Okay, these people will get away with billions of dollars. But what about you all? What about the students who are normal in their life, whose parents are very humble, they are happy with a normal life? What happens to them? Minimum, at least they should have a life. This is my thought process. Okay, I incubated their company for the Roshan, and immediately, what are you doing in marketing? Wasting your time. Start a WhatsApp company, but go to the customer and tell, these are the 1,000 SMSs, 600 went, 400 the Airtel is told that it is credited. We are passing the credit to you. Be ethical, you'll grow very well. So conclude only last example. TVS, whatever is today, is all because of ethics in those days. People were selling engines in Chennai. So it was a black market. So ambassador engines, diesel engines from Singapore, it was a 3 times profit. So all the vendors, the business leaders wanted to sell at 3 times price and make money. When this man was selling at only 10% margin, everybody went and told him, the entire cartel group in Chennai Bazaar, they went and told, how can you sell at only 10%? Already you can 10,000 machine can sell at 30,000 engine. Why are you doing that? My father has taught me that I should manage 10% profit, and I will put 10%. So in next 6 months, the season of the black market gone, and there was excess supply. So then he started selling the parts. So all the customers started coming to him, not to those people who were neighbors to him. And finally, they all perished, and TVS became a company. So TVS has Sundaram Partners, TVS Moped. So that ethics, which he laid the foundation at the age of 2022. Today, TVS is a group of family, and so it's a big organization they have. So its ethics still survives on the planet. Now, that is where it is more important. So mine is a larger vision. I have not told Monu, and they'll get scared if I tell them all the things. Sir, it is Greek and Latin. Sir, it is going above the head. It is a Greek language. I don't understand. So whatever they understand, I speak that one. So the concept is that we have to ensure that the students earn at least their fees. They may not become entrepreneurs. Let them go for jobs. I don't want teachers also to do any business. They just need to be a mentor and support. Yes, you earn your bread in life. That's all. Encourage them, motivate. Through your ideas, John has motivated the students. So at least he came out with a present. He learned whatever he learned, the class is applied. So whatever you are teaching, that should be applied properly. Rest after that, the things will take care. So you do your job of proper mentoring. So you should become a mentor. You should become a psychologist. You have a subject knowledge, but ensure that through projects, ideas, and this is the original idea of project-centric learning from 30 years, directly in bits and pieces we have been doing. Dinesh has done it, not that he has not done it project-centric learning. In fact, you should see all 1,000, 2,000 students have become entrepreneurs because of Dinesh projects which has happened, which we cannot bring it into the books because he has done extension activity of the records. Now we are officiating it properly. Research and publication, why we are in it is not because to satisfy UGC or NIRF, but when you do a research, you come out with better ideas. In fact, the ecosystem will benefit around you. Your own students are going to benefit around you. So when you grow, when students grow, you grow, the students grow. So that satisfaction, you should have that indirect impact of making that student do something in life, what he has learned from a portal. That is more important. That is where the teacher is connected to a God, teacher's Guru, Deva Brahma. Even God says that first is the Guru and mother and father and the Guru, and then comes the God. So God comes at the third place. So you're the real God. So knowledge people I always respected. That's why I took up education. But I am not able to change even 1% of the teachers. But I'm not worried about that. At least I see some goodness in them. Whatever they're doing, kusto, either if not 100%, 2% they'll benefit, 4%. But in that way, JGI, I'm happy with the teachers. Whatever they are doing, okay, I can understand there are a lot of constraints for all of you. There will be a lot of challenges. So I do understand we all do understand all those things. So collectively, consensus-wise, we can do it. But now the time has come. We have to take it further. I am not going to stop whether you are here or not, but my show is going to go on. I am not going to retire. As long as you are happy here, you continue. If you are not happy, you will leave and go. So that doesn't make any difference. I have plan B, I have plan C, I have plan D, I have plan up to people have only industry one or A, B and B plan. But some people can say 30 people, I'll resign and go, kal kare so aaj kare so abhi kar. 2 minutes ka. So immediately go. Why? We don't want unwilling people. But my wish is that if everything goes well, if a teacher can have 8-10 crore bank balance before they retire, it will give us some satisfaction. Let us see how it works and all. Let us not talk big things now. The intention is good. The concept is good. The idea is good. People are there to work. And from I tell Raj Singh, I tell Dinesh, any teacher negative, any student negative, bring them to me. I will talk to them. There's nothing like negativity and react. It is all our way of thinking that he is negative or she is negative at all. It is all our individual because we have a very limited perception about the people. But we don't see as a whole a person. Why that person reacted at that time would have been some genuine reason. So we should hear from both the sides. So I have a lot of longevity, or maybe I have a lot of patience to go through all those things. And I have gone through it, so I understand. In fact, sometimes I learn from Raj Singh, I learn from Sudarshan, the way they presented it was amazing. The kind of words they use, Sanskrit, it is close to my heart. All the Sanskrit words, it's our culture. Why do we copy the West? Night they used to sit and I think that such a laziest man on the planet, Sudarshan, has not worked so much in his life, which has worked in 6 months, last 8 months. Or he'll just do the work and teach and go around. But now I extracted work from it. So nothing to something. So people will, I told Sudarshan, people will laugh at you, your teacher will make fun of you. Don't worry, take it in a good spirit, happy. The more you get criticized, the more you get attention, you'll become more popular, free popularity. No advertisement is required for you. Otherwise, you'll be only a marketing teacher in a room. So you compliment it. So automatically you do it. When you do it, only people will talk. They'll have ifs and buts. When I started, everybody said, no, you do it. Think of a kindergarten, then start a college. I started college, then 11th, 12th, 12th, 11th, and then 10th to 15th. So from top, I built the foundations. Nothing like that. So people are not negative. They react because they believe that may be the right thing. But once if it's clarified through communication, they also understand. So this is what I have learned in my life. That notice, even with Dinesh, I have so many differences I have with him. But end of the day, evening, we are one. That 10 minutes he is upset. I may be upset for 2 minutes, but after 13 minutes, I get a call. Dr. Ishwaran, I think he would have gone to the highest drilling. I would have been on issues I would have differed with you 1,000 times. But then he took it in the right spirit. But the kind of ideas he has come to, he has created a business model. If it works well, 20,000 crore business model he has created. Not this Kalpavriksha and all. Some different types. He has onloaded all the small entrepreneurs, digital, 7,200 edtech company, 6,000 are not working. He's captured them. He got one boy, Vishal Petkar, and he's come out with a artificial intelligence for the 1 lakh rupee subscription for all. So when the rate comes down, minimizes, the volume increases. But the impact is same. Because we have technology support. Time has come. The students have to come here, at least, if not 20,000 students. I told Dr. Rajan, let me be happy with 5,000 students, but we'll make it class. And if we have 5,000 students in next 5-7 years, we are the luckiest people on the planet. 20,000 students, 30,000 students in university, all are bygone conclusion. Because more degrees are required now. No MBAs are required. No MBAs are required now. There's only skill or maybe the fitment. So the person fits for 6 months. Next 6 months, you do this and you take up this job. They have to change, the job seekers have to change 50 jobs. All attrition rate in IT companies is 40%, 50%, 60%. They're only giving 30%. That's why they come and hire. So we get carried away, but they're all cyber coolies, not a product development. So a person has to become a ancillary support. Ancillary is my vision. So those 1,25,000 children, if I succeed in adopting them and giving them education, imagine after 15 years, what kind of army you're going to make in the society. Harmony, blend, discipline, are good, hardworking one. But I'm looking at those richest people in the country, across the world. If they can come and mentor these children, that will be a walking university. Because 50 years, what Deepak Parekh has done, HDFC has built, what founders have done, what Mukesh Ambani has done. If he becomes a mentor for 2,000 students, imagine the kind of wealth of experience they're going to share other than the teachers teaching theoretical or practical subject. So that is going to be a walking university. 500 people are connected. 40 people have agreed to join and stay there for 6 months and mentor those children who are deprived. And we don't want to tell the children that you are deprived of education. You have done agriculture for 1 year, you have earned that money, that's why you are studying. So we don't even want to tell them that we have obliged you. Otherwise, they feel that on the burden of that, we have favored them, that itself always they feel guilt in life. So we should never make feel that there's nobody's big or small. So let us create that equanimity. Equilibrium is very important. That one word, equilibrium, is very important for me. I am forcing a very, very bad future for the next 10, 15 years. Our grandchildren, children are not safe at all. This way things are moving, they are burnout at the age of 15 only. So if sustainability has to happen, we have to bring in that equilibrium. So we should go behind our curriculum. Yes, definitely this is a minimum basic foundation which we need to give. So I'm sure this is just a soft launch here. We wanted to connect with B school teachers because B school teachers can analyze very well. And then I think you become mentors, and then we create a group of four people from here, and you go and train our other undergraduate schools or BTech and all. So I want this to happen as a movement in a very, very soft way rather than unnecessarily too much of noise. So today we just wanted a small get together with you all and make you all understand. But I have so many things to share over a period of time. I have some 1,000 years of work already planned with me in next 10 years what I want to do. So 990 years is the legacy will continue. So I may stay or not. That harmony has to come. And I'm sure that all the presidents of the world, they will have to come and land there and meet the students, all the thinkers, all the Sufism, all the saints, they have to come. But I need them. But I don't want to take any donation from anybody. It should be through this group activity only. 1,500 crores rupees I require to manage that campus. Jain University campus, no fees there. Here they'll pay the fees in Bangalore. They will not pay any fees there. School also, they will not pay the fees, anything there. But that 1,500 crores, if there are people who will come and see and say, no, I want to donate 10 crores. No, you start 10 crores rupees, you build a building there, 500 students start a school there. I'll ensure that my teachers will come and train the school. You give the salary. So if I can convince politicians, if I convince the business leader, even if they adopt 1,000 students, if 1,000 people also do, it will be 1 crore children will be getting educated. Because only 2% or 5% of the population in India can afford the fees to pay. And the fees, the way the expenditures are increasing, the way the compliances or maybe the NEP, where the things are happening, this MBA same course in our own, maybe we are 3-tier or maybe 4-tier school, still it will cost you 10 lakh rupees a year. Yeah, 20 lakh rupees a year. And think of IIMs will be 40 lakhs. Inflation is happening 10%. You will not be able to afford that. So the inflation will kill the people and there will be unrest and there will be a civil war. We have to make an effort to bring a balance to the country. Leave it to the divine, whatever results to happen. Making effort is nothing wrong. Within that 200 days, you are coming, you have to work. We are not asking you to do anything extra or whatever it is. Whatever is the guidelines, whatever the UGC has, whatever the collaboratively, we have to do it. So I am confident about this vision. And in and out, I think Dr. Ishwaran understands and Dinesh. These are the two people who understand. Whatever it comes from my side, they take it. And they understand it and they try within their capacity. They have tried their best to how to bring it. But now our time has come to make it properly structured with the framework and with a model, so that now this is a lot of refinements will take place over a period of time. All products are ready. We have made it all the product, and you enjoy all this breakfast and all whatever is ready to eat. It's not a monopoly of MTR or any other packaged food product. But it is the requirement of within the consumerism of the family. So I'm just looking at those areas. I just don't want the students to get burdened. I want good children, the poor children, if they can get educated for 10 years, they will get and serve their own country. And then the people who have a lot of wealth, if they can just distribute it, 2035, it will be a hunger-free planet. So this movement is a model. Maybe in 4 or 5 years, I'll attract who's who of the world, which I am already connected informally with them, not that I'm not connected. Jodhpur Maharaj, I met you that day, and he said, when he went for his nephew's marriage, he said, I know Mr. Chenraji, Jodhpur Maharaj, Chenraji ke saath to main kaam karu. So Jodhpur Maharaj also, so I have connected with Mukesh Amman, but time has to come. I didn't want to become Azim, I didn't want to become a software company. Real estate, I would have been number one if I would have become. But I didn't want to create wealth only for me. I have no wealth with me. Even today, every rupee goes to the teacher, goes to the bank, goes to whatever loans I have created. I personally, my own apartment is on loan, personal loan, where I pay EMI to the bank. It takes 15 years for me to. Personally, I have a car which is donated by my daughter, and I have not purchased on my own. She has become an entrepreneur. She was a Matsonian. I gave her 15,000 rupees. She earned some 200 crore rupees. She gave 175 crores rupees to build this group, and she has not taken back that money. I have to pay her interest, but also I'm not paying. This car was donated to her on my birthday, on 50th birthday. I'm driving that car only. So even the house also, she is only running today. So I don't need anything. Now I don't even keep 10 rupees in my, today I have 20 rupees in my pocket at least today. So I don't need anything. My wealth is my mind and my people. That is the biggest wealth. I can't equate wealth dollars with all of you. So human mind and intellect is the wealth for me. It is not the dollars. Dollars is a mean to basic survival. You look at all the Sufism saints and all, they didn't want anything in life. They only gave blessings, and the elders gave you. They lived with a minimalistic life. Your father, your grandfather, with bhakti and with a minimum 100 rupees, they would have managed their house. I have seen my grandfather manage at 40 rupees my house a month, and we were very happy. So they even lakhs of rupees also is not creating happiness to us. I don't know why. Where is this happiness gone? Suddenly, external factors, internal strength itself, we have lost. We have lost yoga. We have lost meditation. We have lost bhakti. We have lost. In five rooms, there will be 5 TVs, all living in a different world. Mother some side, husband somewhere, wife and husband 2 rooms, 2 TVs. I've seen many houses. बोले नहीं इनका सीरियल मेरे को समझ नहीं आता तो मैं इधर बैठ के देखती हूँ मतलब ये इनका मेरा बनता नहीं है तो फिर कहाँ the compatibility आएगा. Anyhow, end of it. Let us look forward and let's take it forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. The knowledge you shared with us, I should say, it's as usual. You shared it with a couple of minutes, and it's going to take a couple of hours or days for us to process and observe. Thank you, sir. Now, I would request Professor Harold Andrew Patrick, Dean CMS Business School, to propose out of thanks.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 2 minutes to propose the vote of thanks. After our Chancellor and my encounter with the Chancellor and his idea of entrepreneurship in the last 2.5 years, and the journey that I have journeyed with him has brought out more results in the academics. And now we have the launch of 3 important products. 2.5 years ago, Chancellor Sir came to me and he said that disruption, he said, I don't think we will have students on campus. Why can't faculty become entrepreneurs or think like entrepreneurs? And then he said, make them into groups, and if they're interested, let them present ideas. So for almost 6 to 7 months, faculty groups presented their ideas, and out of that germinated the blended learning for us, because we were going into the COVID situation. And that whole exercise brought in a new perspective for most of us faculty, especially for me. It's extremely difficult, to accommodate the opposite into and put it besides my perspective of the entrepreneurial mindset. So we all started. If you I looked at a lot of material that was given in the blended learning thing, which had tremendous amount of impact. And then we incubated 2 companies from the aviation, and the Chancellor was happy to. And then that was the journey in terms of. And then, as the chairman said, that it's impossible for anybody to absorb, understand fully and completely, coherently what he wants. So he said, Harold, I need 2 people to at least put this in place. And then Dr. Monu John and Dr. Sudarshan, I said, we'll give 2 people. Monu had just completed his PhD in the entrepreneurial space. And Sudarshan Sheshana was the Shashi Tharoor of the CMS Business School. So we said that if they had to be captured, so and that's how their journey started with our Chancellor. And we have the 3 important launches from this business school. Thank you, sir, for giving the business school the opportunity to launch all the 3 important visions. Out of the 5 pillars, the first pillar of international benchmarks with local perspective and curating a new culture, the 5th pillar. So I think two pillars today have also been integrated, as our Honorable Vice Chancellor said. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Registrar Sir, Director Academics, Sir, Professor Ishwaran Iyer, Principal Officers. I thank our director as well as our Chancellor, both that are report to our entrepreneurs, and I'm so far away from them that over the last 2.5 years, I've slowly started integrating some of the lingua or the language that they speak in some of my conversations with people, and that I think is a great change for me as well. So they expect a lot of radical change and second order change, which is highly disruptive, which is extremely difficult for a hardcore academician for me to even visualize. Thank Dr. Monu and Dr. Sudarshan for their contribution. And on behalf of all of us here, we wish all the three, and I am sure that all the CMS faculty are excited to be mentors. We have initiated this a new process we put into place, and not only for the PCL, but also for the talent matrix. We are doing some behavioral mentoring so that it will be we will train all of them and certify them so that they will have structure in whatever they're doing. The department which runs a small number of people, one of the Aditya is the 21 batch passed out student. The group, thank you, Lubna, and the team that runs the entrepreneurship. Sakshi is the new entrant from Brilla, and also in the entrepreneurship space has started a couple of very innovative things of doing things on Church Street and so on and so forth. So we have a couple of things that we are trying to experiment, and that's very good. And thank you, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you one and all. And I'm assuring the principal officers, the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, that all of us as faculty of CMS Business School will ensure that all the three centers would benefit, so that the great magnanimity intention of our Chancellor that all of us retire, or if there is no retirement, go out with sufficient amount of financial security in our banks. Thank you very much.